Hey guys, welcome back. It's been years since I've posted. Still been building Subarus, building on a budget. I still have a flat six swapped vehicle. It is different. I'll do a different video on that. But today I'm just going to do something simple. My friend and I went halves on a 2004 STI, and lo and behold, it needs head gaskets. Ooh, big surprise. So that's what we're going to do. This time around, I'm going to do something a little different when I go to pull this motor. I'm going to take the front bumper off just because it's a little lowered. I just don't want to ruin it. So yeah, hope you enjoy watching. I'm going to do a bit of a time-lapse dance here and maybe explain my way through some stuff. But I'm going to try to film everything I do, take the motor out, taking it apart, putting new head gaskets on, and I hope you enjoy it. This will be my first time posting in I think 4 years. So here we go. Okay, before I go ahead and get any further with it and go underneath, just if you ever run into this with pretty much any Subaru, especially the turbocharged ones, STI, WRX, whatever, you see how this bottle, I don't know if you can tell, but it's very full. So it was lower down here, and the first thing you want to look at when you're buying one of these, when it's warmed up and running, is if there's any air bubbles coming out of here. Now I would run it and show you, but this one didn't have air bubbles when it was running in warm. So that indicated it seemed to be okay. However, after driving it for a few days, this kept filling up and overflowing, especially when I got in a boost, which tells me the head gaskets in here aren't so healthy. They're getting under boost pressure and they're forcing combustion gas into the coolant and into the reservoir because the cap just has to release the pressure into there. When you let it cool down, the system should draw fluid back in if there's not enough fluid in the system, but it's not doing that because there's a head gasket issue. So we're going to pull it out and we're going to address it, and hopefully this old girl can drive once again. This is the perfect part of the video to say, this is supposed to be the easy part. It's supposed to put it up in the air. 2 bolts for your mounts. I usually get 4 of the bell housing bolts at the bottom, and then the 2 bolts at the bottom of the downpipe. Usually get those. Well, bottom of the downpipe, the bolt is so close to the downpipe, or the nut is so close to the downpipe, I can't get a socket on it. So eventually I have to get the torch on there, give it a little heat up, and try not to strip or round the edges of the nut with an open end wrench. Hopefully that comes out. That took way too long. Phone died in the middle of it, so I had to charge it up a bit, but beyond the fact that wouldn't have made a difference, it still took as long as it did. Took so long that my dog got cold, decided he wanted to go inside. It got so cold here that my battery operated gimbal there decided it wanted to die, so I've got the heater next to you. The phone, you guys are the phone. I got the heater next to it, keeping everything warm instead of me. Kind of stupid, but here we are. Anyway, took me long enough to get this out. I used the torch. I was able to get that nut off from the bottom of the downpipe. But the biggest issue was that nut on the bottom stud for the bell housing. I couldn't get any combination of socket or swivel or anything to get on there, and I tried one more thing, and luckily it worked. Otherwise I would have had to take the tire off, take the axle all the way out. I took the pin out of the axle to move it out of the way a little bit, but I would have had to take it all apart. I'm done under here, minus I have to drain the rad now. This is always messy. I can never get it right, but we'll give her our best shot here. Okay, well, took the oil filter off. We're going to drain that a little bit. And the coolant is still draining. Now we're ready to take all this apart. I'm just trying to decide whether I want to drop the car down. But I don't think I will at the moment. For one, my oil and coolant pans are in the way of the jack. And two, this is a pretty good height. I don't know if you saw from the beginning of the video, this thing is pretty low. But yeah, next, accessories, alternator, power steering, and the intercooler. Normally what I do is I keep this system, power steering system, whole. I just undo it and flip it over. You can take it off if you want. Just saves me from having to bleed it later. But it's up to your discretion. You do you. Yeah. Well, an extension for that. Oh, come on. Come on. Be nice. This intercooler is also a bit fried. Come on. So there will be a 12mm bolt on there and there. Usually, in this case, it's only one. But I think we're about ready to take this out here. And we're almost out. Pop that up. And like that, we're out. You're gonna have a little little elbow there at the back. And then that. And then just kind of pop that one off, wiggle it out. Pop it off like this, and then you can wiggle it out like this or like this, whichever. But just be careful with it. Okay, I'll just show you what's going on up here. Now that my light's actually working, we have to undo these fuel lines next. A couple electrical connectors down there. The starter down here is out, but I still have to disconnect the back of it. I usually do that first, but I screwed up. If I move my starter down here, down in there, that little, you can kind of see it in the side of the transmission. That is where I access the slide pin for getting this detached from the clutch inside there. It's a little bit of a weird system, but all of the STIs have it, so I've got to do that next after I get the starter the rest of the way out of the way. And yeah, the longest STI engine pull is still underway. We'll get it out eventually. Well, the engine's finally rising out of the engine bay. It took way too long. It fought me tooth and nail. Everything went wrong, and I probably set a new record for this thing to the opposite effect of what I wanted. Probably the longest engine removal in one of these cars. But I'll take it out, I'll put it on the ground, leave it for the night, and then eventually, the next time you'll see it anyway, it'll be in my basement, and we'll start disassembling it to see what the heck's going on with this thing, where it failed, and what's going on with the head gaskets. But until then, thank you for watching. If you watch this long, like and subscribe, and let's try to get this car running and driving better. Thanks.